Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Open Book. I am Billy Price, co-founder of BILLY Footwear. You know, through the years, our brand has grown tremendously. Where we were in 2018 compared to where we are now, it's just been mind-blowing. But it's been amazing to be able to, pick up all the new customers now, but also stay connected with our long-term customers. So on the screen right now, we have Miss Illyssa Tussing. She first reached out to us in 2018. She is a loving mom of two beautiful boys, a loving wife, and she's also a small business owner. So today we're going to have a wonderful conversation. Illyssa, welcome to Open Book.
Thanks.
So as I say, when I look back to our correspondence, the first time we crossed paths was really in June of 2018. And I think about where we were as a business in 2018 compared to where we are now. The growth has been tremendous, but I just want to kind of kick this conversation off with, how did we land on your radar in the first place? What were you looking for, and how did we all of a sudden drop right in front of you?
So back in 2018, my oldest was, I think he was around 3 at the time, and we were just starting our journey into special footwear. So orthotics and braces and that big long journey. And we had been experimenting with shoes, trying to find wide shoes, zipper shoes. I mean, really anything that would accommodate these big honkin', braces that he was wearing at the time. And I think I was honestly on my 3rd or 4th trial of trying to find the right shoe for him. And through Google search, I found you guys, that you had that adaptive footwear. And it was just the best thing ever to be able to accommodate his SMOs and have a parent not have to shove this tiny little foot into this big honking shoe. It was great.
Oh my gosh, I love that you use those terms, shoving your foot into a shoe, because that was the whole brainstorm in the first place, to be able to create something you could drop your foot in unobstructed, because that was the challenge I had. But it's also because now as a parent, oh my gosh, like being able to get your kids out the door quicker by not having to shove their foot and drop it in unobstructed. That's been awesome. So can you talk more about your family, though? You have 2 boys. Yeah, I'll give you the mic. Go ahead.
So my husband and I met in high school here in Arizona. I'm a native, so very proud of that fact. We've been married for 10 years now, and we've got 2, I am biased, but you said they're beautiful, so I can say it. 2 little boys. The oldest is 6. His name is Jackson. He was the one who first got us into BILLY Footwear. He has autism. And then my youngest, who is 4, his name is Carson. And he actually has gotten us even further in this footwear journey. He has a rare disease called RYR1. It's in the myopathy family. So he has kind of really low muscle tone and his own different struggles and blessings that he deals with. And that is our adorable little family.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. And I know that when I was looking at your social channel, it seemed like there was some sort of fundraiser recently for to get a bicycle.
So that was the biggest blessing in the world. So I have to say, we have the best friends in the whole world. We actually set the record. We raised money for the McLinden Family Foundation, and we got Carson an adaptive tricycle. It is the coolest thing in the whole world. It's got a dinosaur horn and a bell, and it allows him to kind of build muscle memory in his legs. That way he's learning to ride a bike while we're pushing him as well. And it honestly, when we first started the fundraiser, we were told it usually takes about 6 months for these kinds of fundraisers. And I remember I went on Facebook to start this fundraiser, and I had to put an end date for my fundraiser. And I looked at it, and it was, I think, 3 months out or something. And I was like, oh, that's not enough time. I'm going to have to extend it. I'm going to have to come back on and redo this. And I started the fundraiser on a Wednesday. And by Friday evening, we met our goal.
Oh, my goodness.
It was amazing.
Oh, my goodness. That is incredible. And was that powered by more word of mouth? Did you share that with your network, or was it just people that you had never met before that rallied around the cause?
So it was a combo of things. It was a lot of our friends and family who, like I said, are just absolutely amazing people. And then it was in-laws, friends and families that had heard about Carson. And it was, people shared it. And it was like, I know this boy personally. He's the happiest little kiddo. And I don't know if you saw the video of once we got the bike, he got a brand new Flash helmet because Flash is his favorite superhero. And he was ecstatic. He was the happiest thing that could be. And we always say that Carson is the happiest boy in the whole world. You will never meet a happier little kid than him. And just by people sharing that and saying, like, this boy would love a bike. This isn't just some random cause. This is someone you know and love. And it would just be an amazing thing for you to donate to. And it was phenomenal.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool. And then how does Big Brother take that?
Big Brother is amazing. So we've got Carson, who is the sweetest thing on the planet. I call him affectionately my limp noodle. He is just this squishy little ball of happiness. And then Brother has adapted this amazing caregiver personality that he loves his brother, holds his hand all the time, and is his biggest cheerleader. Literally this morning, we got a new bed. The bed is 16 inches off the ground, which to most of us doesn't sound like a big deal. But when you're, 3 feet tall, 16 inches is a huge hurdle to get over. And we now keep a footstool kind of by the bed so we can climb up onto it to climb on our bed. And Jackson was telling Carson, go muscles, when he climbed up there. So he is his biggest cheerleader and such a caregiver and great kid as well.
Mm. Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool. Now, I know that, shift gears just a little bit here. I know 2020, 2020 has been quite the roller coaster for everyone. And especially when it came to education, when it came to school, like remote learning and stuff. How has that impacted your world?
So remote learning has been very interesting. So even before children, I always told people I would never homeschool my children. That is not my gift. Lots of people are so amazing at it, and teachers, oh my gosh, we love teachers. They're the best thing in the world, but not my gift at all in any capacity. And so we've had to do remote learning for a 6-year-old special needs and then a preschooler. Preschoolers, special needs or not, it's like herding cats. Those kids, trying to get them to sit at a screen, even just a 7-minute conversation, they're checked out. Like, he's looking out the window, he's talking to me. It's been a bit of a mess, but it's what's best for him. And so there's a lot of supplemental learning. Luckily, the teachers have been really great, though, because I reach out to them and tell them, hey, my kid's distracted, or hey, he's struggling with this skill. What can I do to help him here at home? And so they've been able to email me and talk to me and give me extra things that I can sit and do with them. So Jackson just went back to in-person learning recently. And I was really nervous that when he went back, that they were going to say, oh, he's behind. Like, you did not do a good job. He is behind. But we've actually improved. He did a good job, which I was thrilled about. I was for sure going to hear, like, you did not do a good job. Your son has regressed a whole year. Like, get ready to repeat first grade again. But luckily, everything has gone, I think, as smoothly as it can go. We're really all just trying to do our best here.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. There's been so much adjustment on so many different levels. And when it comes to the education part of it, because it's so much more, since they're at home, and you kind of touched on this, they're asking you questions all throughout the day too.
Yeah.
So I suppose you're fortunate in regard that you're able to work from home. And I was going to pivot there in just a moment here, but to be able to, be the like running the house and like be the parent and kind of the educator and, being the business owner. Wow, that's just a lot. That's a lot of bandwidth and or a lot of demand with a limited amount of bandwidth.
It is. We have at my house what I call the command center. And everyone always laughs when I tell them about the command center. So we have in our house, it has our monthly calendar, our weekly calendar, and a notes board. And everyone has different colors. Even our respite workers have their own colors. The kids have a color. I have a color. My business has a color. We're very organized, luckily, but it really demands a lot. And even if you don't work, even if you're just a stay-at-home mom, it's especially to a special needs kid, it's your teacher, your caregiver, your, diagnoser, your advocate, you're all these things. And luckily, with being able to work from home, I always tell people that my hours are 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. I'm working after everyone goes to sleep. And if you get an email from me at midnight, please ignore it and respond in the morning.
Yeah. So before we talk about the business, I love that idea of command center. I mean, I'm just thinking like the whole family's checking into mission control. Like, here we go. Mission control, we have a challenge.
Oh yeah, like the kids know their colors. Like Jackson knows he's green, Carson knows he's brown, and if there's a really big event coming up, they want a image on the calendar. So like for Halloween, I had to draw a pumpkin and a bat, so that way they could see on the calendar when Halloween was.
Oh man, love that. Love that. So with your business, let's talk about your business. I mean, I'll let you touch on it, but it just started with this small idea, and it started with a kind of a casual conversation and grew into something bigger. Can you please share about your business?
Yeah, so it started, I've been working with computers and doing tech support for about 10 years now. I've owned my own business on my own for 3 years. And when I had my 2 kids, I somewhat retired. I stayed at home, did the stay-at-home mom thing for a while, and I had a friend on Facebook who needed help with something in her email. And I said, yeah, totally can help you, not a problem. And we met for coffee and showed her what to do. And she asked me, is this what you do? Do you do this? And I said, no, got 2 kids, stay-at-home mom now. That's my job. And she goes, well, there's a need for this. Like small businesses out there need help with their computers. They need help with websites, but they don't have this big giant budget for big companies. They need someone who can help a small business. And so it kind of just went from there.
I absolutely love that story simply because I think about our own timeline, like for BILLY Footwear. It was just a real casual conversation with a good friend of mine at a Christmas party. And the idea was he happened to be working on a shoe project of his own. I said, you know what, since me being in a chair, I've never been able to put my shoes on, and I've got a shoe idea. And that's all it was. And then a little by little over a course of time and just not quitting, it grew into something much, much bigger. So I really, when you talk about having a casual conversation over a cup of coffee going, and then someone saying, you got to do this, it really resonates with me. And also the matter of like, you've been doing this for 3 years and it's like, you still got to keep growing. Yeah. It just takes time, but it's a matter of like having that commitment to stick with it and follow through and always do your very best to add value with everyone. I really see that in what you're doing.
Yeah, and it's that believing in yourself too, that first step of whether it's you buy your business license for $7.50 or buy your first free website off Wix. I mean, it's always that big first step that really makes you believe that you can do this. It shows that you're committing. This is what I do. Like, I want other people to see it.
Yeah. And not only that, but it's, oh my gosh, that resonates with me so much, but it's also a matter of you're investing in yourself. It's like, okay, if I have the courage to invest in myself, it's like, okay, how can this go bad? Like, here we go. Let's lean into this thing and see what we can do. And wow, that's really cool. And it works out great. I mean, given the roller coaster that is 2020, to be able to still be present at home and still add value in the business. I mean, I think that's just awesome.
Yeah, and it's really great because 2020 has been just a rough year for everyone, and especially small businesses. That's something we really want to, pour back into and give back to. And so being able to work with these small businesses and take them from this, in their garage shop to a web presence where it's like, hey, you've got a website now. You can show people, like, they don't have to try and come to you in person. You can ship it to them and you're still safe. Everyone's great.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. So how, if someone's looking for your business, how can we find your business?
So a couple ways, really easy, is go to my website. It's creativetechaz.com. So creative technology based in Arizona, really simple. Or you can also go to my Instagram. So my Instagram, Tussing Lady, I've got a link in my bio and you can find the business there as well.
That's so good. That's so good. It's interesting. We have a lot of, on our customer service side, or just people reaching out, we get lots of questions. And questions we do get are from small business owners or someone that wants to start their business. And they ask, like, where do I start? How do I start? What do I, like, can you give me some advice? So I kind of, it's a very broad question, but and we kind of touched on it a little bit already. But if you were to give some advice for someone that's just getting started, like, how do you, like, what would be the first step? What would you say?
One of the things that was talked to me about when I first started, because I asked the same thing. I went to someone who had a business. I said, hey, what's the first step? And one of the first steps was finding out who your customer is. Like, is your customer, like for me, my customer is small business people. So that's who I gear my entire thought process towards. Or is your customer, moms out there? So you're going to make sure that everything you do is based around moms and their needs and their wants. You have to find who your client is and really, really commit to it. Hone in and decide, this is who I'm going after, and do it.
I love that. I love that. Know your audience, big time. And then on the family side, there's a lot of families out there that, have just a varying degree of children, right? So for the parents out there that may have a child with autism or may have a child that, that needs braces or something like that, what would you say in that regard?
So in that regard is always kind of be thinking about your kids and aware of them, because and the mom guilt. Let's get rid of mom guilt. Let's say 2021. We'll end it in 2020. 2021, no mom guilt, no parent guilt whatsoever. Because when I had Jackson and I was on that route of autism, I had my second kid and I went, okay, autism. And I focused on that. And that's all I looked at. And I missed his bigger picture. I missed some of these other milestones that were coming. And I felt so bad about that. I was guilty. And I was like, oh, I miss all this stuff. And then I turned into the advocate for the boys. And that's what I really threw myself into. And it's like, I don't need to be guilty. Like, we don't need to feel bad that we missed a milestone or that we didn't do something. Like, let's be done with parent guilt and just be really great advocates for our kids.
Boy, that is so good. I mean, just being present and listening, and that's absolute gold right there. So, this is awesome. And I know that you and I can talk forever and ever here, but we do have to kind of wind it down. But so before I do wind down the show for this week, I wanted to give you the mic one more time. I wanted to give you the mic and give you the opportunity to share whatever's on your heart. I mean, it could be something we've talked about already or just, something new, but I just want to give you the mic one last time to be able to, well, I don't know. The mic is yours.
I think the thing I want to touch on is our kids and our families, and how much 2020 has caused us to look at what we're doing and realize we've got to slow down. We've got to make sure that we're here and we're present, and things are different and they're going to be different for a while, but we are doing the best that we can. And through other small businesses and other networks and people like Billy and just friends and people we can reach out to, we're able to stay connected. We formed a several-year friendship, through this journey. And I think that 2021, I think it's still going to be a little bit rocky, but we're going to get through it. And I think together and just being present, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah. Wow. So well said. Absolutely so well said. And it's been incredible with all the social distancing in terms of like being able to meet face to face. It seems like through some of these technologies, we've become so much closer. I mean, certainly be able to for us to be able to reach our customers through social media or just through email or even on the phone. It's been remarkable how the customers just keep growing, even though like there really aren't any face-to-face in-person like hugging, which I miss. I really miss the hugs. I really do. But it's because we're all in it together. I mean, that sense of community, and we're going to get through it together. So.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, as soon as we're good and not social distance, I'll give you a hug from Carson.
Yeah.
World first hug right there.
Well, I do love Arizona, so maybe I'll just come and have it in person. Illyssa, thank you so much. This has been incredible. I really appreciate your time today. Everyone else out there, thank you so much for tuning in. This is another episode of Open Book. We will have another one next week. So until then, take care.